Hello, everyone, and welcome to Office Hours. Here we are, late June. I'm not in Boston, but it is sunny where I am. So hopefully it is nice where other people are as well. Um, Announcements and highlights. Uh, Probably the biggest announcement, maybe, or highlight, is that we cut a 591 release last week. This was to work around a bug that Brad found in the homebrew packages table. Um, so that's currently out in the beta lands. That's my only announcement. Other folks? Okay. Next section of our standing agenda is sort of the open questions issues. The intent of this section is to give people dropping in an opportunity to ask anything that didn't make it onto the formal agenda, anything people want to talk about. Okay. Agenda items. I guess I have two. Uh, the first one is our next scheduled office hours is on July 4th. Um, a bunch of us are US based. I'd probably propose we cancel that one, although, I don't know how the rest of you feel.
Yeah, I think I can edit the invite, although most people probably don't have a calendar event invite. They'd probably just follow the channel.
I would just post something in the channel, but
All right.
we'll cancel July 4th and we can post something today and we can schedule something to post July 4th too. So, okay, sounds like no one particularly wants to talk on July 4th. Okay, we'll go with canceled then. The other thing that maybe we should talk about is the 591 release and whether it's stable yet. I'm just pushing it out to the Collide beta fleet, so I don't have any views on its stability. Marcos, do you know where that is in Fleet's process? Can't hear you. Okay, so sounds like probably no one is ready to call it stable. Trail of Bits, y'all doing anything with 591?
Not really. So I'm going to talk with Zach this week to see if we can push it internally to have some test data.
Okay, so it sounds like it'll get out, and maybe we can call it stable next week or so.
Yeah.
Okay. So cool. That's everything I had on this agenda. We could also talk about CVEs or PRs if people want, or people want to bring up anything else. Okay, sounds like no one has other agenda items.
For the
Next standing.
CVEs, do we
Sorry,
know
go on.
For the CVEs, I'm looking at the tag now. It looks like we don't have any actively urgent things. We have the SSL upgrade, which is probably non-trivial, but then another CV that came out 2 weeks ago that Stefano looked at, and he said is not affecting us. So is that true?
I mean, yeah, as the comment I wrote, yeah, it's because the issue is only presented when you are extracting archives, and we don't do that. And yeah, so that's not a problem for us.
Okay. In this scenario, we usually close the issue then?
No, we have.
Oh, it has to be added to
Stefano's
the
automation
list.
requires it getting committed into a YAML or JSON file somewhere.
All right.
Yeah, there's a manifest file where it keeps track of all the versions of the libraries, commits, etc. So yeah, I haven't looked at other things, but this UMask issue, yeah, it could be present maybe in other libraries that do similar stuff. I'm not sure we are necessarily again impacted because normally we don't write or modify any file system. Like the only thing we write are the RocksDB database and TXT files which we control, and we are not using UMask or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it doesn't affect us, and we just have to update our manifest for that. Cool. Well, that's always positive. And if I remember right, the OpenSSL one was waiting on like an ARM thing or something.
No, so the OpenSSL, so the ARM issue was connected to the Windows for ARM port, and the Windows for ARM port has initially provided a patch to use part of the newer OpenSSL version that was not yet released to fix the issue. But now we also have, like OpenSSL, the OpenSSL project has also released the newest version, and we have updated to that, so the patch is not there anymore. So the migration to OpenSSL 3 is simply waiting for time from someone to work on it, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, that sounds like more than the last time more tractable than the last time we talked about.
Yeah.
Cool. Daniel, welcome. I don't know if you've got anything you want to talk about.
Not really. Thank you.
Otherwise, we could take a look at PRs if people would like, or talk about anything else people want to talk about. Okay. I stuck some PRs into the 5-10-0 milestone. The two that I maybe want to call out, one of them is 8037, which adds indexing to block devices. This one continues. This one's actually kind of passed to me from Ryan, and this continues some work I did long ago about bringing query context in. It should be pretty clean. It removes an ON squared bug that we have.
So it's a performance PR, or?
Yes. but it's also sort of part of some larger work. So the way we handle all of this sort of started when a long time ago I started trying to unravel how disk encryption works. And there's like this whole mess of things where we have these tables that query other tables full of like select stars, and like block devices and disk encryption are all just kind of really messy under the hood. And I don't remember all the details, but I started plumbing through query context on them. And then this continues plumbing through query context across those, which I guess is mostly a performance impact. And some of what the n squared problem we have is like if you query one, it ends up querying, it runs a bunch of select star queries, which is fine if you have one mount point, but if you have like 30 mount points in the cloud, it tends to explode really badly. And then you also have some problems where, as I understand it, some of the cloud providers, the block devices are actually network volumes, and querying them is real slow. So being able to exclude those is advantageous. So 8037 is a pretty easy PR. It's just plumbing through query context. We tested it a little bit internally at Collide. It seems fine. The thing that gets really exciting after that is 8052, which builds on that. One of my coworkers sort of builds on that to fix the disk encryption table. We have this problem where the disk encryption table does not correctly detect if the parent volume is encrypted. So you see this in a stock Ubuntu install today, where like the stock Ubuntu install has an encrypted partition, which it then sticks LVM on top of, and Osquery does not correctly detect the underlying partition is encrypted. And that's because it's doing like a single pass on the block devices, looking to see what's there, and it needs to traverse all the way up to the parent. So 8052 does that traversal. It's not as simple, but it's nice. I haven't actually reviewed the code, but Micah tells me it works. So those are two that I'd love to see get reviewed and merged.
I was wondering on this one how it would look like when you have multiple partitions under disk and would it?
I think it should be okay, because I think what it does is it.
Because I'm wondering is if it is considered, the parent is considered encrypted if everything under it is considered encrypted.
Sorry, you dropped out. Can you say that again?
Oh yeah. So what I'm wondering is if the parent is considered encrypted only if all the childs are encrypted.
I think it goes the other way. So it's not about determining if a parent is encrypted by checking the children. It's saying the child is encrypted if the parent is encrypted.
Oh, okay. So I see. That was missing, not the other way. I see.
Right, because we have this problem where, like, if the physical disk is a crypt setup partition and LVM is on top of it, Osquery thinks all the LVM volumes are unencrypted.
Oh no. Okay. So yes, it's looking at it at the opposite, but I think the issue I'm thinking about is the same. What happens if you have two partitions under a disk and one is encrypted and the other one is not? Does the parent is considered encrypted or not? Because
I would say not.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the difference from full encryption and encryption merely was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think this PR changes. If you're asking about the parent, it does no traverse down. It only ever traverses up the tree. So does that make sense?
Kind of. So like it made sense, and I accepted. Like your previous answer, but now the problem is that if you go down and from down up, you can have multiple children at the same level, and each will start from there and go up to the same parent. So I'm trying to understand which children status wins, basically, if one is not encrypted and the other one is encrypted.
I wonder if we're using opposite meanings of up and down.
So, I mean, again, the children for me is a partition. Like, again, you have a disk and you have two separate into partitions. If one partition is not encrypted and the other one is encrypted, you're saying, but we are actually calculating from bottom up, so from the children and up. And okay,
No.
but yeah.
No. If you check the status of a disk, it looks at the disk status. It doesn't do anything with the children. If you check the status of a child, and the child is not encrypted, then it has to look at the drive and it has to traverse up the parents.
But so maybe this is because I recall that there were also issues on getting that information without recursing.
I think we have to recurse.
Yeah. So that means then that if you are checking the status of the disk, you are recursing on the children to see if it's actually encrypted or not. Because at the disk level, you might not see the status with the API, I think.
I'm not sure. I don't think this touches that. I think if you check the status of the disk, it's either encrypted or not. And if it's not, then it's not. The disk isn't encrypted.
Well, okay, I'll check the...
You should just read this code. It's not that... Yeah. It might have errors in it, but I don't think it's super complicated. Mike is pretty responsive too, so feel free to ask any questions. Let's see. Other exciting PRs. I don't know. Are there PRs that other people want to bring up?
I mean, I know I haven't done a good job. I think there is actually an old PR that actually one of our colleagues opened about adding some additional columns in the interface details table for macOS. And I think that, yeah, it had its own round of reviews. I think you had a question on if the description for interface can be user settable. To be fair, I'm not sure, but I would expect that. I don't think so. I would expect is user settable in the sense that you can have custom strings if you provide your own like implementation of an interface.
I think I was mostly,
yeah.
If I try and remember, I think I was mostly concerned about parse bugs being an exploit route. But if the interface requires root level permission to monkey with, then there's not really a big risk to us.
Okay. Yeah, so let's say I'll double check again. Actually, if anything can be done. But yeah, this is something we would like to merge eventually.
Do we need to parse that column? Do we even need the description? Actually, let me just read this.
I would have, to be fair, I would have to see, because this was connected to to customer. I think that, well, it's helpful as general information, but yes, I don't see it as being a must-have necessarily.
I'm skimming over. So actually, if you read the parse description string, like, I'm not sure there's an exploit there. I can't. I'm never confident in my C reading here, but we're just not doing much with it. So I'm not.
Yeah.
Even if it was user settable, I'm not sure there's a route to exploit.
Yeah, I think the only thing it can happen is it can throw an exception, but otherwise, yeah, the functions here are all yeah, they should just throw an exception. Maybe wait a second. Yeah, there is maybe one case, although these are all positive. No, okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. A possible overflow. No, there might be a case because these are not actually unsigned. I think these ones are not unsigned. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. No, they are steps. So there's no overflow or underflow issue. Yeah. No, never mind. Yeah, they are all unsigned, so overflow is defined. So again, the only issue I can see, if there is a bug, it will throw an exception. But that's it.
Okay, I mean that sounds pretty safe then. I can try and re-review that. I don't remember much about this, so I just kind of remember that one comment.
Actually, well, okay, this is actually on macOS. We also had a refactor for the block devices table, but on macOS. This was done by Alessandro. 7623. I think so. Part of the factor was basically adding some better resource, like using internally better APIs to initialize and destroy resources, Objective-C resources. But sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
I didn't feel like I had a lot of understanding of that code, so I didn't review it. I don't know if Charvel might be an easy one because that's got a lot of macOS C++ things. So maybe I'll tag Charvel on this one.
Yeah. I was trying just to check out on the differences. Alessandro, do you recall? This is my bad. I only recalled right now that we had those couple of years. So because I don't think there is only a factor just to make it, in a sense, safer, leak safe. I think we also improved something on the extraction side. I mean, I see more code that extract information out of it. I don't see changes to the schema, so did not add the columns.
I think it was a prerequisite for a following up pull request. We needed to clean up the code, and I think we fixed a couple of bugs here and there.
Yep. And I mean, otherwise, let's see if there is anything else. Yeah, not really.
Okay. I'm just kind of skimming the list. 7766 looks pretty tiny. I don't understand quite what's happening there. I don't know if anyone just wants to eyeball that real fast.
Which one was it?
7766.
Oh, yeah. So I'm wondering. I saw it, but I lost a bit of context.
I have
The
no
position
context
will fail
on it.
after the initial update to the size, since the calculated size is written as a string. Like, I'm trying to understand though why we don't want to have or expect to have a specific, like, why do we want to support two ways of writing it? Why the JSON is not more like,
I mean, I could
specified.
imagine, like, you can run into issues if you have SQLite has a max int size, and I wonder if we're seeing something where max int isn't, where the integer size exceeds SQLite's max int. But I don't know. Kind of weird for like a carve result.
I think, like, I mean, it's still assigned int 64-bit, so that's a huge number. So that's basically impossible to go beyond. So
I'll comment on the PR.
And actually, in both cases, we are anyway using integers, so it's not a big int or anything. So
Also, it's weird because like SQLite, everything is a string technically, so it's like all the typing is kind of loose.
yeah. Oh, actually, there was. I didn't see there was also the issue attached. Let's see. I mean, to me, it seems that okay. So originally it was an int, but it is saying that there is a function that when it updates the size, it transforms it to a string. So to me, it seems that if it has always been an int and the user of this JSON file expect it to be an int, then the error is on the function that transforms it to a string. So we should not just.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, commented. This one's also like 6 months old, so who knows if this person is still around, but yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it was also still a draft, so I hope. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sort of everything maybe I could talk about right now. Other stuff? Should we end this meeting a little early? Okay. Well, if no one's got anything, I would say we should end it a little bit early. Take some time back. Review PRs.
Or enjoy your summer.
I'll see everyone in a month, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
See you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.